Let me introduce myself. So my name is Nur Aini binti Zulkarnain and my metric number is CN200178. And to right now, I will be presenting exercise 4, which is creating IGSS object on the process diagram. So for this exercise, there is task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4, and task 5. So I'm just going to summarize everything that we have done, that I have done for this exercise based on the uh, based on all the 5 tasks that was given. So for the first task, actually let me explain the purpose for this exercise. So the purpose for this exercise is to create new object for the process diagram and how to use the copy and paste function to replicate objects of identical nature. Uh, and then for this task, we need to create two flow gauges, analog object Q1 and Q2, as well as counter for the operational hours of the mixer motor C1 and place them in the process diagram. So the process diagram is right here. So the process diagram need to be by setting it a diagram, and then select properties, and right here the background, I get it from a screenshot uh, from the lab itself. So and then we can just set it right here, then press OK. So, and from here you can see the first gauge is positioned on the top left corner, and then for gauge 2 it is positioned at the right top corner, and then there's also C1, and next one is there's also P4 right here. This is the pump. So for the first task, sorry, I'm checking if my mic is open. Okay, my mic is open. Okay, so for the first task is to create the first flow gauge, which is right here, Q1. So how to create this gauge 1 is by putting new and then analog element. So from here, you can see for the object browser, workshop analog, I have created 2 objects, which is Q1 and Q2. So to create Q1 and Q2, it's either you can repeat it by the same way, or you can copy and paste. So later I will show how to copy and paste from Q1, but the first way on how to create the first flow gauge is by putting a name right here, Q1 right here. You need to select the analog, and then we need to put its name, which is Q1, and then its description, which is flow water in, and then we need to select create right here, and then we need to select the symbol, which is for the gauge is of course the symbol is flow. So we need to select this one, and then we can just select OK. Since I've already done the Q1, so there's no need for me to do it again because it won't it will appear, but I can show you from the properties from here, from the Q1 that has already been made. So right here you can see Q1. I will open its properties. So from Q1, there are a few things that was set from its object properties. So first of all, for the analog, we set its name to Q1. The description is flow water in. The decimal number is 1. The maximum value for Q1 is 100, and then the minimum value is 0. So for this object, there's 3 alarm that is set, which is high alarm, actual value, and low limit. So right here you can see from the high alarm is set to 95, the actual value is set to 62, and then the low limit is 19. Okay. So for each high alarm and low limit, there's alarm detail that need to be added To add new, here we have high alarm on flow and then low limit reach. So for high alarm flow, we set it alarm number, the alarm number is 106 and then the priority is 100. So the instruction is to reduce inlet. Okay. And then for the low limit, we need to set the alarm number to 107 and then the alarm text is low limit reach. And then the instruction to open inlet. Then set okay. So for the actual value, we only need to set it input output mode into in, and then the node is 0, the driver is 70 TCP, and then the bit offset is 0 and the bit offset is 1. And then for the data management for Q1 is 2000, and then the base interval is 10, and then the data reduction is average, and then transfer is 3 is reduced value, and the login is all changes. Okay. Next is for Q2. So for the Q2, we only need to copy paste it from Q1. So how we can copy paste it is by right click on the mouse and then copy, right click again and then paste as a new object. So right here you can see it is set as Q1 underscore 1. So how to change the number is by clicking on the properties right here. So from the analog, we can change the name right here into Q2. So now I'm going to show the properties of the object properties for Q2, which we have done right here on the top right corner. I'm going to delete this one. So for this one, you can see that the analog is, for the analog object properties, you can see the name is changed into Q2. The description is flow water in, the decimal number is 1, the maximum number is 100, and then the minimum value is 0. So the actual value for the gauge is 62. Ignore the unit because I will explain this later. So for data management, the scan interval is 2000, the base interval is 10, data reduction is average, the login is all changes, and the transfer history is reduced to reduced value. Okay, so for the display, the object name is Q2, so we want to show the label name. So what we want to show when we want to, what we want to show for the object, we can set it at display. So right here we put label name, and then we state the value. State value is enable. And then next is atom mapping. So for the actual value, we use IO mode input. The driver is also the same, 70 TCP. The node is 0 and the external type is FP16S. Offset and bit offset is set to 1. So for, okay, next is for C1. For C1 is a bit different because we need to use object and rectangular field. So for this rectangular field, you can see it works as a counter. C1 is a counter, which is named as C1 operational hour for mixer. So for the current count is set to 100, and then the checkbox is set to limit 150, the preset value is set to 15, and then the maximum value is set to 200. So for the data management, also following the lab, the scan interval is 5000, the base interval is 10, the logging is above 5%, and then the data reduction is minimum and maximum, and then transfer of to history is reduced value. So also for display, we want to show the label, which is its name, and then the state value is enable. So for the atom mapping, there has command, count, limit, preset. Each of these need to be set in different ways. So for the command, the IO mode is out. The offset and bit offset is 0. For count, the IO mode is in. The offset and bit offset is 0. And for limit, the IO mode is local. And then the offset and bit offset is 0. This one have alarm detail, which is counter limit exceeded. So in this alarm detail, you can see the priority is set to 10, and the instruction is to use auxiliary mixer. Okay. Next is preset. Preset is set as in IO mode out, and then the offset is 2 and then the bit offset is 0. Then we can, okay. Next is the pump right here. As you can see, the symbol preview right here is a pump. So we can get it from here. From the category, we can select pump, and then it's over here. Okay. So how to set the value is by putting it right here. By changing it right here. So when the value is below -0, this expression, we need to select on test expression, and it's going to come out like this. Okay. So then I'm checking it again to ensure that there's a recording. Okay, so now I will be explaining about the how to set the unit value. So the unit value is set. There's actually 3 ways to set the unit value. First is by using yes, there's is actually 3 ways to to make the measurement abbreviation. So the first way is to update object through the object in process diagram. So how we can do this is by selecting Q1, open it properties, sorry, Q1, select it properties, select its analog, and then from here you can see there's a unit right here. So how to have this unit right here, we need to set to create the measurement abbreviation. First we need to go to the definition, go to the definition module, and then go to edit, and then went to the measurement unit, and right here you can see I already add. So to add this, you need to select new, then just put on the unit that needs to be insert over here. So right here we have hours, M and M3 over HR, over hour. Okay, so right here how to put the unit is by clicking on the properties itself, and then you can select unit right here. So right here we use uh, uh, MQ per hour. You select OK, and then it will show right here the unit. Same goes for for Q2. Another way is by update the object through the object browser. So you can go to File and then go to Object Browser. So right here you can see there's an object browser window, and you need to expand the workshop and then the analog folder. So as you can see from here, so if you want to change to add the unit for Q2, select the Q2 and then open and select right here. Open and select. Go to analog part and then we can set it right here. M3, M cube hour. See right here, M3, M cube per hour. Another way to update it, to update the measure abbreviation is to update object to property table show. And right here, we can only just by right click this window and then property table view. And from here, we go to descriptor. Sorry, go to training and then went to object and then standard and then we went to counter. So right here you can see C1. So from here you can pick the setting unit right here. Just select like this and then there's going to be an option downward. You can just pick hours like this. Okay, and then it will show here right here the hours for the counter. So that's all from me. Thank you.